Hi, speech students, and welcome back to another fun-filled week of speech. This week we are starting the poem performance unit. This is your final speech before fall break and our third formal speech together. Let me walk you through this week. It'll look a lot like the pet peeve introduction week from a couple of weeks ago and the personal experience introduction week from week 5. So if you're an in-person student, you will not begin your work in this module until you come to class and we do this poem selection and translation assignment together. Then you'll have a week after that to complete the poem selection and translation, do the watch poem performances, and to practice your poem performance speech. Virtual students, unlike our past 2 formal speeches, this one will not be in person via Google Meet. I will offer that as an option, but you will also have the option to record your final speech via Flipgrid. I'll be sharing more about that next week. What that means for you is that you can begin this module anytime you like. I highly encourage you to join us for one of our class sessions to do the poem selection and translation assignment with us. If you cannot, please hop on here toward the end of the week and check out the Google Meet recording that I'll do of one of the classes, or do the assignment on your own and feel free to ask for help as you need it. Let me walk you through the assignments for the week. Poem selection and translation is the first. It is the lesson we'll begin in class. Notice it says in-person students will do this in class. Here's your link to complete Journal 7, and then we'll proceed through the lesson. Virtual students, please join us via Google Meet. If you cannot absolutely make it, please wait for the Google Meet recording later in the week or proceed on your own, but know you might need to ask some questions. As you go through the slides, you'll see that Journal 7 is about your experience with poetry. Then we'll talk about it. We will discuss the requirements of the speech. We'll have a special guest, Mr. Norris from the IMC, who will come talk to us about different kinds of poetry we might be using and looking for, and check out some books and taste test some with a poetry book pass. And then we'll have some time to work on the assignment linked below. This assignment, the first one for your poetry speech, is called Poem Selection and Translation. And instead of being a doc, it is a series of slides. On this first slide, you'll put your poem title and the author's first and last name. Then on the second slide, you will include this information. So this is your instruction slide. Here's the do this slide. Second, you have the instruction slide for poem text and the do this slide, and then the poem translation instructions and the do this slide. For all of these slides, we made these slides because we want them to be really visually appealing and beautiful, but also informative, and for you guys to have a little bit of fun and break out of the just Google Docs mode we're always in. All right, once you have selected your poem and completed the selection and translation assignment, you're ready to proceed through the module. So back into week 9, you're going to watch some poem performances to get a better feel for what your poem performance should look like, what I'm expecting of you, and how you'll be graded. You're going to go to the Poetry Out Loud website and watch some of the recitation videos. You'll see several here to choose from. I'm asking you to watch 3. So that's several that you don't have to watch, although you may watch others. And then you'll fill out this Google form for the performances you choose to watch. So here you'll list the title, the author, and then the performer, and then grade him or her. Same thing with the second performance and the third. At the end, you'll tell us which one you liked best, which one you liked least, and most importantly, some takeaways you plan to employ in your own performance. All right, back over here, you'll see a few more links if you want to watch more, to listen to some, or to get some tips for recitation. Again, all of that comes from Poetry Out Loud, so check all those out. They're great links, very useful to you. One quick reminder about Google Forms, they won't talk to Canvas, so this assignment will say missing in Canvas. It's not actually missing. If you get a response back from the form that says you turned this in, then you're good. If you feel really nervous, at the bottom of the Google form, toggle over where it says send me a copy of my responses, and that way you'll know you turned it in. All right, back to the module for the last assignment of the week. Just like every other speech, your last assignment is a practice. It's a Flipgrid practice, just like the others have been. So for this one, you're going to go into this Flipgrid topic. You're going to remind yourself what you're being graded on, and you're going to perform your poem. Now, unlike other speeches, this is a poem performance. So you are really hamming it up, being dramatic. You're not delivering a story to us. You're not trying to persuade us of something. You are performing. So keep that in mind. I highly recommend you either pull the document up on your screen, the poem, or you write it on a Post-it note and post it there by the camera, or better yet, memorize it so that you're not constantly looking down at your notes. All right, that brings us to the end of the Week 9 module. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Again, virtual and absent students, I highly recommend that you try to join us via Google Meet for a class or watch the Google Meet. In-person students, please don't start till we come to class. So much of introducing this speech will come from our in-class time. I want you guys to have the best start possible. Look forward to seeing you guys next week, either in person or via Google Meet. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.